Canada is no longer waiting to see what happens next. What once sounded like reckless talk from Donald Trump is now being treated as a real warning sign in Ottawa. As Trump revived annexation threats toward Greenland and escalated actions in Venezuela, Canada shifted fast. Prime Minister Mark Carney moved from routine diplomacy to urgent coordination with allies, making it clear that Canada is preparing, not reacting. Carney's arrival in Paris was supposed to be standard diplomatic business. Instead, it turned into emergency talks with European leaders, NATO officials, and Denmark, the country responsible for Greenland's sovereignty. Trump's repeated comments about acquiring territory crossed a line. They forced allies to confront a dangerous question. What happens when a major power starts speaking openly about rewriting borders? Canada's answer was firm and immediate. This is no longer rhetoric to be cast aside.
Hello. Okay, well, Madam Prime Minister, welcome to this little corner of Canada in Europe. We have a big relationship between Canada and Denmark. Amongst other things, we share a border, a maritime border of 3,000 kilometers, long trading relationship, diplomatic relationship, security relationship, obviously through NATO, through your presidency also of the Arctic Council, and our participation through the Nordic Baltic Aid++. You are about to host our Minister of Foreign Affairs, actually in Greenland, Minister of Foreign Affairs, and our Governor General, who represents Canada, will be visiting in the start of February. And we're looking for, and of course, we're partners in the coalition of the willing.
Greenland has now become a global test case. Trump's past statements about taking control of the island, even when softened later, triggered alarm across Europe. Denmark rejected the idea outright. European leaders backed them publicly. NATO officials warn that any challenge to sovereignty threatens the alliance itself. Canada did not sit quietly on the sidelines. Carney aligned Ottawa with that response, signaling that Canada stands with international law and territorial integrity. Trump attempted damage control at international forums, insisting he would not use force. But the signal was already sent. When a president speaks openly about annexation, allies have no choice but to prepare. Canada took that preparation seriously.
The future of Greenland and Denmark decided solely by the people of Denmark. In Greenland, we know that. It's why we cooperate, as I said at the start, and I'll finish here, why we cooperate culturally, why we cooperate economically, and why we cooperate in security.
Carney's meetings focused on coordination, not confrontation. He emphasized collective action as the only way to prevent escalation. The message was simple. If aggressive language becomes normalized, the entire global order weakens. Canada believes the time to act is before that happens, not after. Ottawa's concern goes beyond Greenland. Trump's actions in Venezuela and his broader approach to global power have raised questions about unpredictability and restraint. For Canada, this pattern matters. One issue alone might be dismissed. Multiple pressure points signal something deeper. That's why Carney treated this moment as a turning point. Canada's stance is rooted in the defense of sovereignty, including its own. Carney made it clear that Canada will protect its energy sector, its trade networks, and its national independence. When Trump claimed that Canada survives because of the United States, Carney pushed back hard. Canada is strong because of its people, its institutions, and its alliances, not because of American permission. This wasn't about marking territories. It was about drawing lines.
I don't have a lot to add. I totally agree with you. We are very close allies and friends. I would like to thank you for your work within the Coalition of the Willing, your support to European security. We work very closely together in the Baltic states as well, and you have been very clear in your statement when it comes to the respect of national sovereignty and the respect of our common values. The only values where you can build a global world society on. So I really appreciate your strong support. I think we are both very into securing the Arctic region. And together with other NATO allies, we can secure the region. So hopefully everybody is willing to work together. I think you are a very good friend, a very close ally to not only Denmark but Europe. So thank you for that.
Thank you very much.
Maybe ask for a handshake.
There we go.
Canada's coordination with NATO and European partners reflects a larger foreign policy shift. Ottawa is no longer content with reactive diplomacy. Instead, it's building alignment with countries that uphold the country's borders and rules, and don't ignore threats to a member nation. This approach increases the political cost of reckless behavior and reduces the space for bullying from other countries playing by their own rules. Greenland matters more than many people realize. It sits at the center of Arctic security, key shipping routes, and major defense systems. That makes any talk of taking control by force a serious concern. Canada understands this clearly. As an Arctic country itself, Canada sees stability in the region as essential.
On Arctic sovereignty, we stand firmly with Greenland and Denmark and fully support their unique right to determine Greenland's future. Our commitment to NATO's Article 5 is unwavering. So we're working with our NATO allies, including the Nordic-Baltic Gate, to further secure the alliance's northern and western flanks, including through Canada's unprecedented investments in over-the-horizon radar, in submarines, in aircraft, and boots on the ground, boots on the ice. Canada strongly opposes tariffs over Greenland and calls for focused talks to achieve our shared objectives of security and prosperity in the Arctic.
Carney's message to allies was clear. This alignment matters because Canada occupies a unique position. It's a NATO member. It's a bridge between Europe and North America. It has credibility as a middle power that values cooperation over dominance. Carney is using that position to strengthen alliances before threats turn into crises. The tone from Ottawa has changed. Canada is no longer ignoring extreme or aggressive statements. It treats them as real warning signs. In response, Canada is strengthening military cooperation, improving diplomatic coordination, and clearly stating what it will not accept. This shift also sends a message to Washington. Canada will work with the United States when cooperation is possible, but it will not stay silent when sovereignty or stability is questioned. That balance is now central to Canada's foreign policy.
What does it mean for middle powers to live the truth? Well, first, it means naming reality. Stop invoking rules-based international order as though it still functions as advertised. Call it what it is: a system of intensifying great power rivalry where the most powerful pursue their interests using economic integration as coercion. It means acting consistently, applying the same standards to allies and rivals. When middle powers criticize economic intimidation from one direction but stay silent when it comes from another, we are keeping the sign in the window. It means building what we claim to believe in. Rather than waiting for the old order to be restored, it means creating institutions and agreements that function as described. And it means reducing the leverage that enables coercion. That's building a strong domestic economy. It should be every government's immediate priority.
The broader impact is already visible. European leaders are speaking more openly about shared defense. NATO officials are reinforcing unity. Smaller nations see Canada stepping forward rather than stepping back. This builds confidence and limits the room for unilateral action. The goal is to stop reckless ideas from becoming accepted norms. History shows that ignoring early warning signs leads to far greater costs later. Ottawa is choosing the smarter path. This moment marks a new chapter. Canada is no longer reacting late or quietly. It's preparing early and together with allies. The message is clear and deliberate. Canada is watching. Canada is coordinating. And Canada is done waiting.